By the way, guys, we're live. It's Obscure Reference. We're back with Fingering the Pulse, the weekly stream where we go over the latest releases in media for movies, TV, all kinds of trailers that have dropped this week.
Did they catch the part where I said all rebellions are built off of hope?
Oh,
I don't think they
we
did.
were way into it at that point. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
No, like I've gotten pretty good at catching guys off guard. Don't you worry.
Well, I mean, I have the stream on, so I can tell, but sure.
It definitely started with you talking about my fuse box, and I was like, maybe I did start too early. All right. So
It's just everyone's pre-warning that there's fuse issues.
not a lot of media dropped this week. I mean, this all came in like the last 2-3 days.
Like yesterday and
Some
today.
heavy hitters, though.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
no,
there's.
like we got some names. I'm really with this first one. I have some expectations. So let's not start it right away. Once we like do
I
the
have
title
low
reveal.
expectations.
I don't have
Oh
high
yeah,
expectations, but I do
I
have expectations.
I have thoughts that I'll leave till after we watch it, but
Have you
let
seen
me.
it?
I have
No, but I
not.
remember
Okay.
the teaser for that they posted like a couple months ago.
I didn't see that, so.
Okay, well, while we're
Uh,
talking about it anyway, we're looking at the Haunted Mansion official trailer.
The
So
fun.
my expectations with this is recently I went on my honeymoon to Disney World. We went on
good,
the
good, good.
actual Haunted Mansion ride, and on the flight back, watched the Muppets Haunted Mansion. So I
Oh,
don't expect greatness from this, but I do expect a lot of like literal lines taken from the ride, literal moments captured from the ride. Like the Muppets did a great job of like capturing the essence of the ride. So just give me like, things I would have experienced on the ride or reference things from the ride and I'll be satisfied. I don't expect greatness. I don't want to have my mind blown. Just give me a fun time talking about this ride I was on.
so
The funniest thing about that is now that you're talking about it, I have like just two randomly like weird connections to the Haunted Mansion stuff. When I was really young and the Eddie Murphy one came out,
Yes.
which was not a scary movie really, but I was young and it like I got so scared that I couldn't even finish it, like which is hilarious. And then when I went to Disneyland, I got stuck on the ride. It broke
oh
down
no.
while we were in the middle of the ride, and if I remember correctly, like we had to sit there for like 15 minutes not moving or something like that. And then I can't remember if we got escorted out or if we actually finished the ride, but it kind of put a damper on my Haunted Mansion ride experience.
Hey,
I'd imagine
that's
it
too bad.
would.
I've been to it like once. I probably in high school probably when I was at Disney World last, and I you know I like the ride a lot. I watching the teaser just to give a little bit of a spoiler. There were things that I saw in the teaser that they put out a while ago that I really liked. That might have been allusions to the ride. I'll let you simmer on that one a little bit. But
I don't even remember it if I'm being honest.
I just a fun fact too. This it mostly only has to do with the ride. I think they used some of the old. I could be wrong on this, but I think they used some of the old animatronics from the Hall of Presidents in the Haunted Mansion.
That
I
sounds
know they've
about
reused
right.
it.
That
I don't
sounds
know if
like a
they reused them.
classic fact, non-fact.
Well, no, they've definitely reused them. I just don't
It's
remember if it's in
facts
the
when you
Haunted
have
Mansion.
opinions.
Yeah,
What's even
facts
the
don't
point of
matter.
facts anymore?
Who
Hmm.
could say really?
All right, let's
I
jump into
mean,
this. I'm a little too pumped. Let me see what we got going on here.
Yeah, let's pump it. All right, you ready to go?
Patrick, you're the playboy. Aha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, three, two, one. God bless. God
Wait!
why
bless.
did you count it
I
down?
should warn you before
God
you step
bless.
inside the house. This could change the course of your entire life.
I'm not afraid to let
Rosario
go.
Dawson is in this movie?
This cast is stacked. Just saying.
You say that now.
That's the Keith Stanfield, my boy.
This mansion is unhinged.
These ghosts definitely don't want to leave.
Death lurks around every corner.
I'm telling you.
God, give us a break. There's so many bad people in the world. Haunt them.
Why is Owen Wilson in this movie?
I do like surprises.
Is anybody else seeing this?
I hope you do too.
We're gonna fight, whether we like it or not. Or else we're stuck here for eternity. If this comes down to an exorcism, we're in big trouble.
Oh, there you go.
This house is dripping with souls, but there's always room for one more.
My friend was mugged.
He was tall. He had hair that was sticking out of a top hat.
Top hat.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
So
Nice.
a top hat.
You would
Is that
pull a rabbit out of it,
paladin?
probably.
Eyes.
Is that
They
what?
were a bit
Paladin.
sunken.
Sunken eye.
Like
No.
a raccoon.
Beady
They
eyes.
said
Dark.
That's
Ricky
a different
Shelby.
guy.
And
No.
He was smiling like, yeah, like that.
No, that's the guy from
Exactly.
Sonic, isn't
Is
it?
this the man who mugged you?
I'm glad to
I didn't
know
see it.
Danny
Wow.
DeVito doesn't.
You just
look
did
as
that just
preference.
Interesting.
So,
I'm gonna look that up.
first thoughts: one, there
A
is
son
a
had-
lady who
Sorry.
throws axes and like killed her husband or whatever. There's definitely a stretching room, so to some extent they stuck true to the ride, which is what I was looking for.
And the chair.
The elevator with the walls that were growing too. That's what
what I
caught my
meant by the
attention.
stretching room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The chair, I don't remember / know what you're referencing specifically. But even so, all in all, I think they added enough fluff in there that I genuinely don't care. I like the Muppets because it was just like, here's a joke movie about the ride and it takes a half an hour. I don't know that I want to watch an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours of whatever the hell that was.
They have to make it an hour and a half. They have to be smart enough to do that.
If
Well-
it's any longer than that, it will be to their detriment.
Yeah,
Well,
if they
here's
break
the-
2 hours, that's a mistake.
Here's the thing: they made 2.5-hour movies out of Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Cruise. So I
The
wouldn't
difference
expect-
is, well, Jungle Cruise is not good, but the
Pirates
difference
of
is
the
Pirates of the
Caribbean, you can
Caribbean
make it up
has
as
a
you go along.
titular hero who is very specifically good. Like,
Mhm.
so
That's true.
like you're not wrong, but like it works for Pirates strictly because of Johnny Depp, and it
Right.
doesn't work for Jungle Cruise because Dwayne the Rock
Well-
Johnson is good, but not that good.
People
Like, his
he's a
character
good
is
action
kind of whatever.
guy, but that's about it. But
People like
Haunted
Jungle
Mansion,
Cruise
if
all
you
the
do anything Haunted Mansion plus, you've lost me. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care about the lore behind this. I like it because it's the Haunted Mansion.
Well,
See, I have a different
looks
take on
like-
that. This
it-
movie looks like they went more Scooby Doo than anything else.
That's
And-
that's a good idea point. Yeah.
That's more interesting to me than what I expected it to be. It's that cast is crazy for this movie. It's a
I'll admit-
horrible decision to put Owen Wilson in a top hat and then a beanie. I don't know why you would do that. The dude's got fantastic hair, but
yeah, true.
whatever. I think that sold me on it more than I expected, just because they went more like scary, silly, like Scooby Doo, than they did like scary.
And that's what gives me hope about it. Like, I think it'll be like just fine. Honestly, at the end of the day, it'll be like 65% Rotten Tomatoes or something like Jungle Cruise. But it'll be entertaining enough. Like, yeah, the cast is stacked, but like this is, I'm guessing, a rated PG Disney movie that's
Yeah.
actually going to have a little bit of a bite to it. It's going to be a little spooky. And I'm kind of interested. Like, I like the ride a lot, and I think it looks like they're expanding on that, making it kind of bleed out from the mansion, kind of bleeding out into like the world around the mansion. So that could be, I don't know how I feel about that, but like they're
That's how
gonna
you
make
add
it.
runtime.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be closer in runtime to like maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15. Like I could see it being longer than we want it to be, but
So
I don't know. I can see myself being entertained that entire time.
mild tangent. I'm gonna admit I didn't like the ride that much. I'll give Disney like the benefit of the doubt here. It was the fourth park we went to on the last day we were there. and my heels had blisters, and it was at the end of the day that we made it to this ride, and I was just kind of like tired and ready to go. The ride itself was fun enough, but I don't think it was anything spectacular. But
There are better rides at Magic Kingdom for sure.
oh my god,
Doesn't
Talk
look like
about
the runtime is out yet.
out
no,
of all the
doesn't.
four, though, I think I got to give it up for Animal Kingdom and Epcot. Really stole the show. I'm sorry, Magic Kingdom. I'm sorry, Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom and Epcot stole. Animal Kingdom had a lot of animals, which we love.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Epcot
sense for
had
you.
a lot of drinks, which we also love.
And that's my big problem with Epcot because last time I went was in high school,
No, like
and
And
for
you couldn't
anyone
drink.
under 21,
yeah,
I get why you don't like Epcot. Over 21,
Wait,
Epcot's so fucking
they
fun.
have the. I don't know if they still have it, but that's where they used to have the World of Tomorrow or whatever that ride that would take you
Yeah,
through the
no, they have
future.
that. It was
they
pretty
made a
cool.
movie on
I don't
that
know if
sucked.
they have yet.
It wasn't what I
Isn't the one
imagined
that Brad Pitt
entirely, but
or
it
not
was a
Brad
lot
Pitt?
of
What's his
fun.
fucking face? Bad
Oh,
Nipples.
Bradford. You might be.
Uh
Is that Tomorrowland? Is that what you're thinking of?
oh yeah.
I thought they
It
were
like
changing it to a different ride. I don't know
took
if
you
they're
through
doing that yet.
all of human history and then kind of took you to where they thought the future was going and then got to let you see like hey, what's a world without coal like and stuff like
Mhm.
that. It was pretty cool. Like it was an
It's
educational
interesting.
ride. It wasn't super
Yeah.
fast or radical, but all in all, I loved Epcot. I loved Animal Kingdom. That's not even
I,
a little bit what we just were talking about a minute ago.
no.
Apparently Winona Ryder is in this movie, which I
Yeah.
don't see her in
I'll
that. Do you
admit
see
the
her in
cast
that?
is a lot more
No.
stacked than I thought it would be. So
They
that
didn't
does give me
show
hope that it's not just a flop.
they didn't show
Although,
Jamie Lee Curtis or Dan Levy either, and they're both in this. So I
well, they
maybe
know
they
they.
did show Jamie
I
Lee
think
and I
Jamie
missed
Lee
it.
Curtis was the ghost that threw the axe.
Yeah, I think you're right actually. But I
Um,
don't know if we saw Dan Levy though. And
but
Jared Leto. No, we
yeah,
saw
no,
Jared Leto.
no, we saw Jared Leto, and that's
Yeah,
what I was about to bring up.
yeah,
Is
The
that
Joker?
might be,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
he's the
Morgan.
villain. He's the Hatbox Ghost,
Hmm.
and he may just ruin another villain.
He might. He probably will. I think it's good
Now,
You
casting.
guys
I
didn't like him
he's
as
the
a
guy.
Joker?
I I am softer. I'm softer on Jared Leto's performance than most, but
So, one
He
thing I
can be
really this is a complete tangent at this point. One thing I will really give Teen Titans Go credit for,
good.
they had Robin like it was a joke about all the Jokers that have happened, and they had Robin
I saw it.
impersonating Jared Leto. They're like, "What the
Mm,
fuck is that? You're trying to be the Joker?" And then all the other Titans went through and did their impersonations of the previous Jokers. And
that's
we're
fun.
pretty much just like, no, this is what the Joker's like. Jared Leto's Joker's not shit. And it was just a pretty good, like, okay, so you do care about the canon and the lore behind you. Teen
Is that
Titans
was
Go
that
get
from
shit on
the
too much for what it is.
was that from the movie?
I don't
Just
think so. I saw the clip, not the whole thing, though.
I'm pretty sure it's from Teen Titans Goes to the Movies because
Yeah.
I remember it, and I watched that. Like I have a vague memory of when I watched that on a plane, and I'm pretty sure that's what it's from.
That would
That
make
sounds like
sense.
something out of the movie.
I'll
People love
fully
the movie.
admit, like, it's a better show and movie than people give it credit for. It's not one of my favorites, but I don't think it deserves all the hate.
No, and my only point
I
on
didn't
Teen
realize people were
Titans.
hating Teen Titans. That's
Oh,
such a harmless
Teen
thing to hate.
Titans Go. They hate Teen
the
Titans
problem is,
Go.
and I understand is that people compare it to the old show from the early
Exactly.
2000s, and I
Yes.
love that
I
show.
didn't even know they were
That's a
different
great
shows.
show.
To be fair, I didn't know Teen Titans Go was a thing other than the movie.
Oh yeah, no.
No, yeah,
So original Teen Titans is like an anime DC Teen Titans comic
I think
adaptation
we all
kind
know
of
what Teen
thing.
Titans was.
Yeah,
Teen
Yeah,
Titans
the original
Go
show I remember.
is some kind of fever dream of they're
it's
all
like
cartoons now.
same world, same characters, same voice actors, but it's all comedy and played up for
But again,
absurdist
it's
bits.
not as bad as people make it out to be. It has its merits. You
And
just have to accept it's not the same thing.
that's part of that. That's part of the problem with it for me for sure. But like, I just was never super entertained by
But
it.
don't get
I'm
me
not the
wrong, I
target
never loved
demographic
it. I'm
either.
not a kid. It's not a show for me, but I think
Right,
it's not as
exactly.
bad as all the hate it gets. Anyway,
We're gonna
back to
move on,
Haunted Mansion.
or talk a little bit more. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
bye.
Okay, bye. I don't know. I'm excited for Haunted Mansion. I'll
I don't
wait
think it's
for
gonna be the
reviews.
worst thing ever.
I'm gonna
I'll
see
say
it on
that.
Disney Plus. That's when I saw
It might be a Disney Plus for me for sure. I still haven't seen Jungle Cruise, so that's definitely we'll see.
I've seen most of that movie. It wasn't that interesting.
Are we
Okay,
going on to number two?
number
Also,
2.
I don't know if this is a spoil. Patrick, do you care if I spoil this about Jungle Cruise?
I
I
don't
care so hard as I've also not seen it.
There is. So do you not want me to say it?
No, go ahead. I don't care.
think he
There's
cares.
like some weird twist in the Jungle Cruise where Dwayne the Rock Johnson's character is like an immortal god
Oh,
who
I've heard
can't
this.
leave. He
I've heard
can't leave the river or whatever. Like some weird shit happened to him, and it's such an odd twist for that movie. Like to extend the runtime. I'm like, why is this the thing? So there's like this whole cut, like where it's like him over the years because he can't go away from the river, and I'm like, this is how did we get here from this movie?
And the ride is literally you're on a boat going
Yeah,
down a river, and the guy is
but
just
how
making dumb jokes.
how
And
is
it's like
this
20
where we
minutes.
landed?
That's what I'm saying. They can make the Haunted Mansion a 2-hour movie easy.
All
But all right, we're gonna move
right.
on.
Yeah.
This next one is a movie called The Creator.
Which came out of nowhere. I didn't hear anything about this one until this dropped. Had you?
No, this was completely off my radar until the trailer dropped. And then all of a sudden, it's probably one of my most anticipated movies. I haven't really seen the trailer for it, but
Well, let's see what we got going on.
yeah, just give a little bit of backstory real quick.
No?
It is being directed by Gareth Edwards, who that name
The
sounds
Welt?
familiar to you.
He's a real person?
Garth
Yes.
Brooks is directing movies now?
But
I got friends.
he's the guy that directed the 2014 Godzilla and Rogue One,
Ooh.
a Star Wars story, which is
Rogue One
all
is
built
good.
on
I don't freaking care.
all rebellions are built on.
Who is saying Rogue One isn't good?
No one is saying that. No one is saying
literally no one.
Unpopular opinion, I like Rogue One.
unpopular opinion. Shout out to the guy that wrote that. He liked one of my tweets. He's cool. Shout out to Gary Whitta.
Shout out to Jerry O'Connell while we're at it.
Dude, shout out to Jerry O'Connell. Fucking A. All right. Speaking of creators, Jerry O'Connell. But yeah, let's just jump right in. I don't know anything about it. It's just let's watch and talk, you know what I mean?
Love a good watching.
It's a peaceful place in the sky.
Right away, I'm getting vague Dune
Are you going to
vibes.
heaven?
Guy who's only
Yeah, it's definitely high sci-fi for sure.
And I get that it's not, but look at it. Tell me it doesn't give off similar
No.
You're a
vibes.
good person to go to heaven.
But it is though. It's not.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence
They've got
created to
an
protect
80s
us
band playing,
detonated a
okay?
nuclear warhead
That
in Los
goes
Angeles.
Oh my God.
Floyd and Dune.
He recreated the stupid shield around the planet.
As long as
No suit armor on the road.
we will never stop hunting them. This is a fight for our very existence.
Whatever's in there, they're sure worried about someone.
Why do
getting in.
futuristic guns always look so
Yeah,
ridiculous?
they're getting out.
We're the same. We can't go to heaven. Because you're not good. And I'm not a
What in
person.
the what?
Did you locate the weapon?
Yeah, it's a kid. Seatbelts.
What do you want with the child? We are this close to winning the war. Execute her, or we go extinct.
They're coming to get me.
Damn.
Now, if there's one thought I have, it's that wow, that looks like some good fantasy fanfic going on. Like that is some high fantasy, pure fantasy, no sci-fi involved at all. Fantasy work.
I hate you so much right now.
That to me looked like if you crossed Dune with District 9.
It
Man,
gave
solid reference to
mad.
District 9.
I mean, it did give those vibes. I get what he's coming from.
Like I get Dune right away. It doesn't look like Dune, but it has very similar vibes in terms of previews to Dune.
Yeah,
I'm a lot
here's
more
what
hyped
I
for that than
I
I thought it was
actually
gonna be.
I
I actually
got
think that
mad
that has
like
much more like a Dune like cinematography than I think you're giving it credit for there. Like I think it's very much like I mean it's kind of in the same thing. I mean, I guess District 9 has it to a degree too, but one of the things that makes the cinematography of Dune so great is it takes what looks what is not real and blends it to real life and it looks really good, and I think that's what that movie did as well. Like all basically the first 2/3 of that trailer,
oh,
where it's
okay.
before it builds to the end, I think it blends the sci-fi into the real world well.
Here's
My
a
only
fun fact.
concern. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Here's a fun fact. The guy that did the cinematography for Dune is also doing it for this movie.
That makes a
That would
lot of
make sense.
sense.
Uh, but real quick, just my brief thoughts. I got mad Blade Runner 2049 vibes and District 9 vibes, and if you can combine two of those together, that'd be sweet. The poster gives off mad like Star Wars vibes too. I'm excited for this. Ken
Uh,
Watanabe, love him.
I just think it's hilarious that he found a way to have that stupid circular entrance for a shield around the planet, even though there's
Hmm.
not actually a shield around the planet. I just think it's funny that he's made two movies with that now, and I'm not sure how that's possible, but go for it, dude. Just it's like the blue beam in the sky. Just make it your thing.
this isn't a specific reference or vibe I'm getting, but a concern I do have, especially with that child with the hole through its head or whatever that may be. It seems that it wants to get a little profound here. They're talking about like not being able to get into heaven, and I don't know that I'm coming to the sci-fi movie for a
Well,
message. Like I'm
Oh
looking
time
for
my
something
god,
a
I
little
need you to.
more.
time out,
Oh yeah, hold
time
on.
out. Real quick, all
Go
right.
ahead.
The best sci-fi always brings in the equation of just because we can make that stuff, should we? Like to an extent, granted, but like
I don't even
Star
think that's
Wars.
true. I just think that literally the point of sci-fi is that you can take yourself out of the real life just enough that you can talk about a message without it being like, hey, this is this exact thing happening to us right now. It's what built sci-fi from the very beginning.
Look,
well,
I'm not
it's
saying
one of
that's
those.
like making bad sci-fi, but I am saying I don't know that I want to go see a movie where it's gonna be talking about that the whole time. The whole thing is like, are they good enough to get into heaven? Is heaven worth being good enough to get into?
Well, it's
I'd
one of
rather
I
those.
think
not
you're
deal with
taking that a
that in
little
the movie
literally.
experience.
I bet you that's just going to be a thematic through line for them. I think
Yeah, no, that
what's
it's just a theme I don't want to deal with. Not necessarily a bad thing about this. That just doesn't attract me.
I just think you're taking what they're talking about too literally. I think they're talking about it in that way because it's a robot, and so has to do with what makes you a human, not literally. Is there a God and can you get into heaven?
But even then,
Mhm.
I don't care. Like, what does it take to be? I don't know. I'll give it a try. I'm excited for this. I just hope it's not an overly thematic, like what makes a person good kind of movie.
what's got me excited about it because I knew nothing about this going into it. Uh, is that one of my favorite sci-fi duologies of all time, the Blade Runner movies. It's like really good sci-fi. It's like this is what could be, but also what does that say about us? Like these people that we hunt down that are replicants also have feelings and emotions, and what does that make
Spoiler
us if
alert.
we decide to hunt them down? It's not a spoiler. It's in the first title crawl, and it's a lot of the same vibes here. And you see, just kind of, how they're kind of training these robots, and it's like, well, it's not like we haven't seen this message before. I just think with the unique vision of Gareth Edwards, who's done maybe 3 movies before this. Is like it looks like what I think makes a good sci-fi story, and that this is what could be, and here's what it says about us.
I mean,
I actually,
trees at the
I
very
think,
least.
I think John's probably right in some sense, in that I think it's going to be very much ex machina, in like
Mhm.
there's going to be
Okay, no, I
they're
really
using
liked
a
Ex
robot.
Machina. I liked Ex Machina.
I did not. I have a
Oh
lot
my
of
god,
problems
it
with the
was
way
so
that
good. I
I thought it was really good, but I hate
slight tangent. I
conclusions that it
almost
comes
took
to.
my honeymoon to that hotel. I tried so hard to get to that hotel.
Like I just my problem is with the way that that movie ends. I don't
No,
like the
no spoilers.
conclusions that that
Oh,
movie
I
comes from,
love
No
the
comes
ending
to.
where it's like they might be
No
among us and you can never
spoilers.
know for
No
sure.
spoilers. No spoilers. Pat hasn't seen it.
Patrick, you
So,
have to watch Ex Machina and be the tie-breaking vote.
Oh,
but
I want to watch it.
anyway, I think that this movie is going to be similar to that, where it's the reason that robots and AI work so well in sci-fi movies is because it gives you a human-like form to bounce off of, and so you can ask questions about what it means to be a human and what it means to have consciousness. And I think that's why part of why they made it a child and part of why they made it a robot is because the point is to be like everything is telling you that you're supposed to kill this thing, but it's a child and it's conscious. And
Okay,
so
so
you have to play the
where I was viewing it is it seemed to me like they were trying to be profound, like, oh, it's an innocent child, but it's a robot, so it's not really, but it's trying to make you think it is, and you have to decide whether it is or not. And I view that as like trying to be profound or have a message shoved down your throat. But what you're saying is it's more how do I
it's I
phrase
think
it
it
like you
has
just did, where
I
it's
think it's
like,
more like how do it what makes something a human or what makes you
yeah.
human. Like more about
Well,
the
I'm seeing what
emotions
you're
of a human.
saying, and we're seeing the same thing, but just interpreting it differently. But I don't. If they play it the way you're playing it rather than the way I'm interpreting it, I think that'd make for a much better movie for sure.
You want me to read the premise of Wikipedia? Because I think it'll back up what Austin thinks, because I believe that too.
Go ahead, might as well.
All right, so it reads: amid a future war between the human race and the forces of artificial intelligence, Joshua, a hardened ex-special forces agent grieving the disappearance of his wife, is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator. The elusive
Dreaming,
architect of
dream for the
advanced AI,
deer,
who has
dream
developed
for a night,
mysterious
and dream for
power
the
to the
deer.
water and can find
Dreaming
itself.
on,
So there you go.
dreaming. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm not reading it again.
Okay. No, I was listening though. Like, yeah, no, that really. I guess I misinterpreted it, but that doesn't sound like a bad movie at all to me.
I'm in it. Had the style and the sub, and looks like it has the substance. So I'm
Yeah,
in.
that's definitely a movie that I will
It's
see
definitely
for
got
sure.
merit to it. It's got good names behind it. I'm in. That's a probably in theaters kind of experience.
If it's Gareth Edwards, I have a feeling he probably shot it on IMAX film, so it's probably
Oh,
an IMAX.
almost without a doubt. Just
Yeah.
from the way that it looks,
Oh yeah.
it's on actual film for sure.
Oh yeah.
I would
No,
venture
no
to guess.
question in my head, honestly. Uh, yeah. Are we ready to
Yeah,
move on
I
then?
think we're popping on to the next one.
Popping it over on pop up pop
I,
pop
ca-
Everybody
I
pop.
still
stop
can't
popping on
believe
each other.
I still can't believe that this is being made.
I'm not at all surprised.
Oh, is this
I'm
the one I
surprised.
think it is?
So this is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, this is overdue, but also unnecessary.
It's gonna make bingo bucks. I'm telling you, it
It's
makes
going
And I
to,
won't be
but
part of that.
it's gonna make it makes all the sense in the world to make a movie like this. But
now
this is
this is
just a
a
little
rend on YouTube 3 years from now when I'm finally curious enough to find out what it's about.
no shot in hell I'm watching this, but not in theaters at least. Maybe I'm on Peacock or something, whatever.
This is a hate watch with some friends kind of thing.
I think so. But anyway, here we go.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where fantasy and fun come to life. Hit it, guys. If you're watching
Is that
this
their
video,
actual backstory?
Yeah.
Like they're
it
like
means
Chuck E.
you've
Cheese
been
characters?
selected as
Yeah, did you
Freddy's
not know that?
newest security
I
guard.
didn't.
Yeah, no, they're like Chuck E. Cheese characters come to life at night who murder.
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah, that looks just out of the game. Holy
We're
shit.
going to have so much fun together.
Oh my God, Shaggy's in this movie?
Yeah. He didn't say anything to do about it. Okay,
is
that
that
looks
it?
better.
Wow, that looks bad.
That looks better than I thought it would. Are you kidding?
That
It's not
looks like
good.
nothing. Like no, it looks like they have decent CGI, they have decent animatronics, whatever. But like content for a movie, that looks like nothing. That looks like a pile of shit. Where they were like, "Hey,
You've
people
seen
like
5 seconds
that."
of it. You've seen 5 seconds of it. Calm down.
No, like I'll admit, Five Nights at Freddy's, the game, fun game, challenging game, scary game. That movie looks like dog shit.
I The little bit that I know about Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a shit ton of lore involved, and there's a lot they can pull from. I don't know if they're adapting it or if they're adding onto the lore, because I think with a movie and a property like Five Nights at Freddy's, you could theoretically do something separate, but also make it connected. Um, I think they're adapting it just because people are saying Matthew Lillard's playing like an important character from the games or something. But the game itself is just like, except for what the latest one, Security Breach, you're mostly just sitting in a chair trying to make sure they don't come and get you.
Mm-hmm.
But Security Breach, you're actually trying to escape them all, and they're hunting you down throughout the entire game. So I don't know. There's definitely it looks like they're expanding upon the original idea of the game, which you have to because you can't just spend the entire movie in one room. Um,
I
but like,
challenge
and it
them
would
to do
I mean,
that.
but
Make an
they did
entire
strap him
movie
to
in
the
one
chair
room.
in front of the TVs, so
they
they're at
did.
least alluding to it.
Right. And some of the shots in the security cams are straight up from the games. And I have to give them credit for that. Like, that's, I gave Mario all the credit in the world for pulling from the games. And if they can do that for this, then yeah, props to them.
Yeah, it just looks like any other scary movie to me. I'm not gonna see it.
It
No,
doesn't
and
even look like a
it's,
scary movie. It looks like a movie trying to be a scary movie, but we already
um,
know it's a joke, so it's not scary. Like you've taken away the fear factor by basing it off a video game.
did you watch The Last of Us? Just because
No,
something's
Okay,
based
he
off a video
hasn't
game
played the
doesn't
game.
mean it's
in
scary.
fairness, that seems like a different caliber than Five Nights at Freddy's. Would you put them
Freddy's
on
has
the
a lot
same
of,
level?
I also don't think The Last of
but
Us is
like,
scary. So,
it's not intentionally scary, no, but I'm just saying, like,
and the show even less so because they go away from the zombie aspects.
right. What I'm saying is just because it's based off a game doesn't mean you don't take it seriously. Like Five Nights
Well,
at Freddy's is like a
okay,
No,
you
but
fun
Five
cherry
Nights at
action.
picked there.
Freddy's
Come
is
on.
not the same level of game as Last of Us.
I
One
never
of them
said it
is
was.
definitely $15 on Steam, and one of them is definitely not.
What you were saying is that you're not taking this seriously because it's based off a video game. That's all I'm
Because it's
saying.
based off that video game.
But even if he was making the argument that you're saying, Patrick, he would. I mean, that's like maybe two out of the last 25 that have been good that are based on video games. So it's not
Mhm.
like the track record doesn't back that.
I
There's
guess
always an exception that proves the rule, you know?
I'm just saying we've had a good stride. I think Twisted Metal is going to change that for good video game adaptations
I
like the
think
last few
at
years.
this
So I don't
point, I want to watch it just so I can come back and go, nah, 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 nah. It was a
know about
bad
what.
movie.
I'm not saying it's going to be good. Where did you hear that?
Patrick and his freaking love fest of Five Nights at Freddy's is gonna come crashing down when I
You
give
know
my
what?
full on review of this movie.
This is going to be a better movie than anything Lord of the Rings could shit out. All right, bring it
Oh,
on.
You
Bring
like
it
how your
fucking
mother
on.
has all her teeth intact? I'm gonna put a stop to that.
Good luck. She knows karate.
I believe you. You're just
Yeah,
scary.
she doesn't know karate. You're okay.
I'm not gonna take that risk.
It's better that you don't. Better that you don't.
For everyone, yeah. Okay.
Uh, but
Any
yeah,
other
that
thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's?
I'm not expecting big things out of it.
I'm sure, much like all the other shit, like Haunted Mansion, like Jungle Cruise, like whatever you want to put there, Lion King live action, it's gonna be bad, but it's gonna make a ton of money.
It'll make
There
a
you go.
shit ton of money.
That's exactly what I expect from this.
Especially because it's a scary movie budget, so it's gonna be like $50 to $70 million, and they're gonna make
Yeah,
like
it's Blumhouse making it.
250
Yeah.
to 300.
Blumhouse is behind it, so yeah, the budget's probably minimal at best. All right, we ready to move on to
All right,
the
we're
next
moving
one?
on to Killers of the
Something
Flower Moon.
I've never even heard of.
I'm
This
pretty sure
is
those words are new to me. Like each one of them, I've never said before.
Marty Scorsese's new flick.
Oh, good lord.
So
Scorsese.
yeah, I have thoughts, but we'll
To
watch
be
and
honest,
talk.
I thought he was dead.
Real quick before we jump into this, he actually had a really sad quote the other day, where he was talking about Akira Kurosawa when he got his Oscar, and he's like,
Gesundheit.
he said, now that he's like 80 something years old, he's just starting to see what filmmaking could be, and that it was too late. And Martin
Shut the
Scorsese
fuck
was
up.
like, he was like, yeah, I kind of see where he's coming from now, and now I'm just too old. It's like, oh shit, it's kind of sad.
See,
Okay.
I get what you're
I'm
saying.
not gonna
and
shit
why
on one
that's
of the
sad,
best
but at the
actors of all
same time,
time.
like it's not like he wasted his career. He laid the groundwork so that could happen. You know, he played an intricate part in what it could become. And again, it's not like he wasted it. He came up with it. He's known for a reason.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, maybe it actually does take 80 plus years in the industry to be like, oh, this is what it can actually really be fully done. But I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker.
Let's just jump
Holy
into
shit.
it. Let's
Okay,
go for it.
no, but hold on, time out. Because, so I'm looking at Scorsese's IMDb page. If you had to guess, as a person who just made that statement and is saying that he's 80 years old, how many films or TV shows do you think he has upcoming that he directly is directing?
He's got a lot of
films,
projects.
42 TV shows.
He's got a shit ton of projects in the air. How many of them? Like,
he currently, including this Killers of the Flower Moon, has 5 upcoming. So Killers is completed.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's got 3 in pre-production and 1 in post-production.
Which one's in post?
I don't know. It says an afternoon with SCTV.
An
I don't know what that
afternoon
is.
What was
An
it?
afternoon with SCTV. It's about a sketch comedy show.
It's probably some sort of documentary. Dude's got like a lot of projects.
My point
Will they
is,
actually happen? I don't know.
That's just whatever.
Like this,
you do you, Scorsese. You're one of the best directors ever. Fair enough. Whatever.
This one's been in production for fucking years, so
let's go for it.
Let's do it.
This looks, I mean, just off this initial scene, looks interesting.
Maybe some sort of colonizer or something.
So it takes place in the future.
Yeah.
The Osage took their name from Missouri and Osage rivers.
Of course it is.
Neokanska. Children of the Middle Waters. Move, said the great white father. There are many, so many hungry wolves. Can you find the wolves in this picture? Can you find the wolves in this picture?
Listen here.
I love
All right,
it. I will
I'm in.
see that opening night. I will be in the, well, metaphorical front row. That looks fantastic. That looks beautiful. That looks well directed, well put together. That looks amazing. I am so glad we're in the beginnings of this like movie renaissance, and I cannot wait to actively go and see that.
I am also really excited to see that. I think it has a really good cast, and just like the set, like everything about what we just watched impressed me. My only concern and caution with this is that it is over 3 hours long, and
Well, I love me a long movie. I'll say that. Lord of
his
the
last
Rings.
movie, his last movie, The Irishman, I had to watch in two sittings because I just could not sit through all of that. So I don't know if this will be a theater movie for me, but I do want to watch this.
Yeah, I'll take the opposite side to you guys in a couple of ways. One,
You hate Native
Apple.
Americans.
I knew it.
Always gave off
One,
those vibes. I had a feeling.
one, Apple. If there's a movie being made by Apple and a big name director, I can just guarantee that it's going to be some bloated mess because
Okay.
Apple just really likes to throw money at famed directors and let them do what they want, and it's produced very little.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I get the concern. I get his concern.
And then on top of that, I do think it looks good. However, I'm not going to give Martin Scorsese credit for well directed and well set dressed movies at this point. He's done it for decades, so that doesn't give me any points for him. And
But he's maintaining the standard. He's not just like coming out with any
I
piece
did
of crap. He's
okay. So
maintaining his
no,
excellence.
no, he's not. And it's because I think he's wasting his time on overly long historical pieces that mean nothing. And that's where I'm
Well,
at.
he's built his career off that, though. This
I
is my thing.
disagree
I don't
though.
disagree that he has, but I'm not. I'm over it.
It's not wasting his time on overly long historical pieces that mean nothing. It's investing his time on long historical pieces that mean something. It's just whether or not you end up taking anything away from the movie. I think it's worth your time to watch it and decide whether or not you think it's relevant. But I don't think he's wasted a second doing any of this.
I think that I just had it up and now it's gone. I think that this movie will be too long. I think that The Irishman was too long, and I think that Wolf of Wall Street was too long.
I haven't seen that. Probably because it's too long.
There's a
But
part of me that just refuses to watch Wolf of Wall Street because I heard it was just a 3 hour porno.
So
I'm just
my
not here for
problem,
that.
no, I'm in.
the thing that, and this is going to be
I
a
need
weird. I'm
20
just going to
minutes
put this.
stops.
I'm going to put this together into some weird thing. So well, he gets all of this credit for Wolf of Wall Street, and the reason Wolf of Wall Street is so long as a movie is because it's actually part of the theme. Is that it's essentially the breakdown of one long drug bender for this guy. And so like part of the reasons it's so long is like to nail home the fact of like how long they were doing this and like how drug addled it was that whole time. Like it's just an entire movie. The whole theme of the movie is excess on every level. Girls, money, drugs,
Yeah.
everything. And so it's also excessive in length. And I think that after he got all the praise for that, he just decided that excess is good, and so all of his stuff since then has also been excess, and I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll as much as I'll bash The Irishman for being too long, I do think the length serves its themes well there too. Um, and I want to point out real quick, just looking, I'm gonna stick up for Apple TV Plus right now. They put out Coda, which is a Best Picture winner. They put out The Tragedy of Macbeth, which was nominated for a bunch of awards. They did Wolfwalkers, and they also have Severance. And
Congrats, they Oscar bait.
what? I mean, not wrong, but
Dude, you
Tragedy
don't.
of
Like
Come
Macbeth.
on,
there's
tell me
lots
you don't
there's
Oscar
lots of
bait daily.
like there
Tragedy of
is
Macbeth
lots
is
of
At least
people.
every other
Yeah,
day.
I
Your
mean, it's
girlfriend's out of
so
town.
notorious. It's so notorious in the movie world that there's a term for it. Like I
Mhm.
don't give you points for that.
I don't know. I'm
Patrick's
just
got
saying.
no
And
points.
like ultimately, like there's people who like. I'm not saying that they shouldn't exist. Like
Sounds
people
good.
can make whatever they want, and they if there's an audience for it, great. I just personally think that Apple has had a horrible strategy. It's why they don't have a great market penetration with Apple TV Plus, and
Mm,
it's why
I
they've spent a
disagree.
lot of money that hasn't brought them in a lot of money.
I hard disagree. I hear a lot of people talking really highly of Apple TV. I mean, they got Ted Lasso, they got Mythic Quest, they got After Party.
I'm not saying they're not making good content on that side of it. Like I'm saying movies specifically, I'm not a fan
Okay.
of what their strategy is. And I'm saying that overall, I don't think their strategy has given them the market penetration that they were looking for.
Right. And just to counter my own point, oh, they also did the Tetris movie. That's neither here
Like
nor
I
there.
think Ted Lasso is fucking incredible, so I'm not trying to say they don't make any good content.
They did put out Ghosted with Anna de Armas and Chris Evans, which has been notoriously bad from what I've heard. So like,
John, I know you're trying to like sneak around, but you're off your own camera. Like I can see you because we have extended cameras, but you're not in the camera shot.
I'm sneaking around.
he's just gone. We're sorry. We're sorry, Chet.
I forgot we have extended cameras, and I was just like, oh man, they really can't see me, can they?
Nope.
I thought I was being so sneaky.
I don't know. It's Scorsese.
All in all,
I'll
I'm willing to watch this one like opening night. I'm there, and we can have a further debate on it at that time.
I need to watch.
This falls into the category of like the Fablemans. When we talked about that, whenever we talked about it,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't I don't want to watch film directors make movies about how great make and profound making films is.
Mhm.
It's it's not for me.
To an
Which is
extent,
fair.
I want that as long as like you can still pull it off in an entertaining fashion. I don't want to be necessarily backhanded preached to, but I'm willing to like engorge in that message if it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, of the Scorsese movies I've seen, they've all had, it's not like preaching to you. It's always like, here are these people doing awful things, and here's what that could say about life or whatever. So, I don't know. I
I'm
do want
willing
to.
to give this one a chance. Oh shit! Sorry, my chair just popped. I can recline a lot now. Look at me go.
Look at you go. Watch them, chat.
Really
Watch them.
fine. I'm gonna
How
fall
far back
later
can you go?
for sure.
How far back can you go?
How low can you go?
Unnecessarily far back is how far back.
Got like a triple chin going on. That was hot.
Thank you.
All right. But yeah. So we're all seeing this day one, Austin? Yeah?
No. No.
Austin, I'll buy
I
you a
mean,
ticket. Worst case
I
scenario, have a
know
popcorn
here's the
seat.
problem. Here's the problem is we're definitely going to probably review that movie, so I'm going to have to watch it, but
Yeah.
begrudgingly,
I'm gonna have to buy two
begrudgingly
theater
I'm going to
tickets.
watch that movie.
I have to buy two separate theater tickets because I'm gonna get bored and leave in the middle of it the first time and have to go back again. All
I'm gonna
right.
sit
Well,
there the whole time just like giddy.
This is one that needs an intermission, like
I'd
absolutely.
be
Hateful
down for
Eight.
an intermission. Don't get me wrong.
I love a good intermission. Anyway,
Okay. Now I
let's move on.
believe we have one final property we're getting to tonight.
No, we have two.
We have two.
Oh, we have two.
We
I
have two
believe we
more.
have two final properties we're getting to tonight.
I can't believe before we get into this, I'm not going to say what the two are, but I can't believe that Patrick set this up with this not being the last one.
No,
I don't know
no.
which
There's a
one's
big
up
reason
next, if
for
I'm
it.
being honest.
There's a big reason for it.
I don't know
I
what the
But
can't.
other one is.
I guess
Really.
I don't know what if that says more about what he put last or how he feels about this one. But
no, I'm excited for both of these things.
well, I'm sure
What you
you are.
got?
But apparently, you're more excited for the other one.
Well, that's true. That's true. But
That's crazy.
one of them
Come
dropped
on.
today. The other dropped like 2 days ago.
That's
Show me
fair.
what you got.
All right. So this next one is the new trailer for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One.
Oh, duh.
Uh,
Which
Never mind. I
Patrick
know what the two
absolutely
are.
called, which is crazy.
He did
It's
call
well,
this
not.
one
It's
like
it's
three,
not on
4 days
stream
ago.
anywhere, but
here's
somehow he called this, and that's incredible.
well. Let's rack our brains for a second. This is how I got to this prediction. Right? What movie comes out this weekend?
Mission Impossible.
No,
I wish.
it is
Fast X.
Fast X. All right. What would go perfect in front of a Fast and Furious movie? A trailer for the new Mission Impossible.
Mission
This isn't.
Impossible.
I think they put the first teaser out before Top Gun Maverick, and that's where we first saw stuff for this new Mission Impossible. So I'm like, we're getting close. It's coming out this summer. We got to get a new trailer for it soon. And I was a total shot in the dark, but it's like if it's gonna
Yeah,
come out before
nailed
any
it.
movie, it's gonna be Fast X.
I mean,
So
your reasoning is sound. It's just impressive nonetheless that you nailed it.
I was very happy and surprised too, if I'm being honest. Anyway, let's.
Our lives
Run over.
are the sum of our choices.
Yeah, right on.
And we cannot escape
There
the
it is.
past.
There's the run.
Ethan, this mission of yours
Oh, 2 running shots. Okay.
is gonna cost you dearly.
He is not very massive. Not Tom Cruise.
No. It's a
The
bit
world is changing.
less.
Truth is vanishing. War is coming.
It's coming.
It's been a long time, friend. You've no idea the power I represent. It knows your story and how it ends.
Listen to me.
Is that the Kremlin?
The world's coming after you.
His fate is written. Shall we write yours too?
If anything happens to them, there's no place that I won't go to kill you. That is written.
That was very John Wick-esque.
Okay, let's go.
Ethan, what's your objective? What's your ultimate objective?
Your life will always matter more to me than my own.
None of our lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Freak, yeah. The
It is time.
other one is playing.
No, I
Is it
paused
playing?
it. I paused
Yeah,
it.
it's playing for me.
Pause it.
I can't.
Time to wake up.
Oh, yeah, it was weird. Okay. Is it paused now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I have a lot of thoughts about that one.
I have just 3 thoughts because I've only seen the first Mission Impossible movies.
What do you
Good.
mean?
Good cast. I've seen the first 3 Mission Impossible movies. That's what I meant.
You've only seen 1, 2, and 3?
I've been very busy trying to become a Twitch streamer to watch this thing.
Holy shit!
Okay. And I listen, nobody wants to watch them more than I do, okay? But just because I know the guy that did Top Gun Maverick got involved around where I'm at, so I'm fucking in, dude.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No.
He gets involved. He's part of Tom Cruise's whole production company. Yeah, he did. Like with
Okay.
5 or 6, he did.
So I think you are correct that he is part of Tom Cruise's like inner
Christopher
circle
McQuarrie.
now.
Christopher McQuarrie.
That's not who made Top Gun Maverick. That's your problem. You've got people mixed up here.
No, he was involved. That's what I was saying.
No, but you were saying with Mission Impossible. I thought you were talking about the director of Top Gun
No.
Maverick. I was like, he's not a part of these.
No. Different guy.
So I've seen all of them. I do love Mission Impossible. And I have watched a lot or listened to a lot of podcasts with Christopher McQuarrie talking about these movies. And it's one of the most mystifying things that's done in all of Hollywood, because the way that they describe making these movies is essentially they go, let's find a bunch of really cool places that we could do some stuff and then just go. Like there's a script sometimes, and then they usually don't really use the script, and then they just go, this would be cool, let's do that. That would be cool, let's do that. And how can we connect these things together? And that's fucking crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up because I saw that factoid that when they were writing this movie, Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise are like, "What if you drove a bike off a cliff? Wouldn't that be?"
They've literally been doing that for like the last 3. It's crazy. Like
So
they're I mean, Tom Cruise is nuts for many reasons, and
Right.
like part of it being he does all this crazy shit, but also like he found a guy who's like a director who's also just like, fuck it, let's just, it's like, fuck it, we'll do it live, and then they just go do it, and you're just like, wow. And so like that in Christopher McQuarrie we trust, but some of that was a little bit concerning to me because it felt like the CGI really stood out in that one.
Yeah.
And that's not common to me in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
I don't, because they obviously use a good amount of CGI, but it looked like it stood out a lot more in this one. And so I'm concerned about that.
What was the last time you watched the first one?
Mission Impossible, like 1?
Yeah.
I mean, probably 5 years ago.
Go back and watch that final train sequence. Tell me those special effects hold up, okay?
Okay, I mean that's fair, but I'm speaking more to the like Christopher McQuarrie era
I know.
But like, I mean, it has the whole scene where the like fucking fish tank in the wall like explodes, and
They had the
like,
tunnel sequence where they had to get down. Yeah, no, I caught
that was listen, that movie is not indicative of the rest of the series going forward, but that is a good movie. Like
yeah.
They early on when they were finding themselves, they did all sorts of wild stuff.
We don't need to talk about MI2. We don't need to talk about that.
But like once J.J. Abrams did that movie, and then they really kind of found their stride. I mean, it's a great.
I really liked 3.
It's a great series, and I'm glad they're continuing to make it. It's fucking crazy how they do it, and they're awesome to watch. So like, in Christopher McQuarrie we trust, but I have concerns.
I'm excited. I say as I haven't seen the last 3 Mission Impossible movies. But I'm gonna be caught up by the time this comes out, mostly because I know Rebecca Ferguson gets mixed in at some point. So does Haley Atwell. And
which one is she? Which one's the blonde? One of it's the two of those, right?
No. So Haley Atwell is Peggy Carter from Captain America. And then Rebecca Ferguson is Jessica from Dune.
So I don't remember the Peggy Carter person and when she comes in. I want to say it's very recently.
That she might be new to this movie, honestly.
Yeah, I think I don't recall her being in it, but the other one, she's been in it for at least 3 movies, I think.
That's what gets me most excited, because one of my favorite parts about Fast and the Furious, I'm going to compare this to Fast and Furious a lot, is that like Fast 5 and then onward, there's a crew, there's like a family. And everything I hear post MI3 is that we have that crew now, and I love that shit, because that's just, it's hype. It's like, let's get the crew together. It's like, yeah, my boys and girls.
And I think they do it more successfully than Fast does.
Oh yeah,
like, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, both actually in terms of on screen and like behind the scenes. Like, no one's like, damn, Dom Toretto is like making The Rock never want to be in this series ever again.
Yeah.
So like, they do it better in both senses too.
God,
that's what
are we really still talking about this? I left for like 5 minutes. It's Mission Impossible.
No, we're gonna be talking about it for much longer. Don't you worry.
What else are we here for?
it's Fast and Furious, but it's aside from 5, 6, and 7, good. All right.
He hasn't seen Fast and Furious either, so that
I
I
doesn't
didn't
help
see
him.
any of
I
them.
know
Vroom,
you.
vroom.
Yeah,
Mi
you.
familia.
Okay. So I just want to quick make a comment on the cast because like I've aside from like the main stuff, like the main crew's back, but Palm Clementif, I thought I recognized her. She was the assassin lady that was fighting Ethan Hunt in that narrow corridor. Um, that's cool. I'm glad she's doing something outside of Marvel. Good for her. Um, I do want to shout out Carrie Ellis is in this. I love him and everything he's been in, even Stranger Things. And I want to say this is more Fast and Furious than we give it credit for because Vanessa Kirby's in it and also Shea Wiggum's in it. So shout out to that.
We're gonna have to do a timeline breakdown, but I'm not convinced that it's not the other way around. But
I'm just saying, Vanessa Kirby was in a Fast movie before she was in a Mission Impossible movie.
I'm saying more like along the lines of which one started this trend. But I'm not gonna we're not gonna be able to do that at the moment because I don't have the memory to know when those movies came out.
Fast
But
Five is 2011.
I think that my other big concern with this one is the villains look entirely underwhelming. Like they don't seem very intimidating at all.
Mm.
And I'm gonna be sad that we don't get Henry Cavill back in his reloadable fists. It's really sad that he won't be back, but
Yeah, it
You're
is
saying the
disappointing.
character wasn't reloadable?
Just the fists.
Just the
indeed,
fist?
his
Okay.
fists were reloadable. We saw him reload them.
Just not
He
like
was
as
not
a whole.
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer for that. What was that? The last one or the one before that?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Watch the trailer for that. He does in the trailer. It's fucking.
That whole scene is great, and then the reload is sick.
It's
I'll be honest.
honest.
I am pretty dang intrigued by this next one.
I am not. I saw that this is the only one of all of the ones that we've got that I saw, and whatever. I don't. That's how I feel
want
about
to know
all of
what
them.
the hell's going on here. I don't
Have you seen the
necessarily
trailer?
think
Or
I have not. I purposefully
Okay.
don't watch any of these beforehand.
Same.
I don't expect a lot, but I'm intrigued to see how the hell they're making a movie.
This is a game.
It's
Ladies
not
and
a movie.
gentlemen,
It's not a movie.
Mortal Kombat, the movie.
It's not a movie.
It's a movie.
They've made 5.
It's not. There are Mortal Kombat movies that are being made. This is not one of them.
This is the first one.
This is a game.
This is the first movie.
All right, you can shut up. You can shut up now. Okay. Yeah, this is Mortal Kombat 1. Let's jump into it.
Mortal Kombat 1.
To a
the
new
movie.
Why did we start at 19 seconds again?
Because you couldn't figure out how to pause it.
I was paused on my screen. So joke's on you, liberal.
Oh, freaking got me.
Checkmate.
Check, please.
Look, I'm an inclusive man. I don't know that I describe myself as liberal, though.
I don't like
I'm
labels.
Moderate.
How do you feel about the label that's really large on the screen that says likely mature 17 plus?
If that's where we're starting, then hopefully things are working. All right,
Patrick, you just play.
I can't see that, but I can see it on stream.
God damn.
Okay, 20 seconds in.
Okay.
Last time Patrick hosts.
It is time.
Oh my god, a game being made by WB Games?
Also, Austin, I think that should be the thumbnail.
Time to wake up
17 plus.
to a new reality. To a blank canvas that I have painted in with warmth and peace. In my new era, the choice is yours. Whether to live in quiet serenity or bloody strife. To dwell in joyous prosperity or bitter rivalry. You can face each other as sworn enemies or united as brothers. But a storm is brewing, and soon you will discover even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for.
That was a lot.
You have chosen to defy peace. Then you have chosen war with a god.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay, I couldn't follow the plot at all. This movie looks confusing.
Oh, don't get me started. Mortal Kombat lore is all over the place.
No, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll be honest, I was never a big Mortal Kombat guy. I didn't play Mortal Kombat in the arcades or in the 80s even.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
But, like, it started off as an 8-bit fighter, right? And they were just characters you could make fight each other?
Not 8-bit.
Okay, where am I going
No,
wrong?
I'm pretty sure.
Take me to
Was it
school.
not in the original arcade? There was the like tournament storyline, right?
Yeah. No, there's been a story since the first one.
I have no idea. Like
So,
learn
so
me
the
anything about this
original
series.
the original premise for Mortal Kombat was like you were the person who landed on the like island or whatever, and then your job was to fight your way tournament style all the way up to the guy. I can't remember his name. What's his
Shao
name?
Kahn.
Yeah. Who's like running the tournament, and then that's how you win the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
actually
so what
Shang
the hell's going on in this then? There didn't seem to be any tournament. There just seems to
Well,
be
we're like
a new god.
25 games in arcade machines
So
since then. So
let me walk you back through this, all right? Mortal
Please.
Kombat 9 reset the entire timeline. Raiden's like, shit's fucked up. Let's go back in time. And we play through the plot of the first three games, and and then we go through that. We have a time skip, go through Mortal Kombat X, then we get to Mortal Kombat 11,
Obviously.
which deals with a lot of time aspects. We got a lot of people from like the past teaming up with people in the present. And the main villain of that game is the God of Time. She's the elder God of Time. Her name's Chronica. At the end of the game, Liu Kang,
naturally,
back from the dead, comes out, beats her ass, becomes the new God of Time. And the end of that, because there's a main game and there's an expansion called Aftermath that I haven't finished. But he's essentially rewriting the timeline to create a new era of peace. And from the looks of it, it's not quote unquote a reboot, but it is in the sense that the timeline's kind of starting over. But these are different versions of characters we're familiar with. What's what's up, John?
At what point does this become Soul Calibur?
Doesn't
That doesn't even seem to make sense.
there's no sword? There's like three swords.
Wait,
One
does
of them's
Soul
a fan.
Calibur have a plot too? I just
There
want to
might be.
punch people, man.
Punch people. The cool thing about these modern Mortal Kombat games is the story mode's actually really good, but if you don't want to, you can just
thank
punch
you,
people.
Injustice.
Yeah, Justice. Well, Mortal Kombat 9 started it, but yeah.
This is not a game for me. I was never a Mortal Kombat fan. I don't think that the over the top violence is very interesting, and so it's a game. It's not one that I'm going to play. It looks like that's some really great CGI, so the cutscenes are going to be sick. But
mostly next gen, other than the
I'll be
Switch.
honest.
Other than that, I
I
don't
was
care.
a big fan of the violence, but in anything beyond that, like I'm with Austin. Like it's not really interesting.
To me, the violence is definitely what attracted me because, like, when you're in middle school, you see whatever the Mortal Kombat game was at the time. It's like, holy shit, they're splitting each other in half like a coconut, and I'm glad I got you with that. Um,
Like, it just for the record, not like a coconut.
well, who could say? But it kind of became one of those things where I picked up Mortal Kombat X and I played the story. I'm like, this shit's kind of bonkers, but also kind of cool in
Patrick,
the
you didn't
sense that,
mention Mortal Kombat to me once in middle school.
yeah, I didn't have it in middle school.
You were just talking about how when it came out in middle school, you were like, "Wow, this is cool."
No, no, like I was interested and I played at a friend's house, but we definitely played a lot of
What friends
nine
did you
at
have without me?
the one that we went to and hung out in his basement and played a lot of Mortal Kombat 9.
Oh, and we also watched the other guys. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that one time. I'll
That
allow
one
it.
time. I'll allow it. But it's just one of those things where like the lore of this stuff is so convoluted and weird. It's almost like the Fast and Furious of fighting game stories, and that's just so fucking ridiculous. And there's been a lot of retcons, uh, but it's still cool and fun. So I'll play this probably day one. It'll be crazy because we have in 1 year have got a new Street Fighter, a new Mortal Kombat, and probably a new Tekken. So I don't know. My big takeaway from this is that this looks good. Uh, big year for fighting game fans. I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, all in all, looks like an okay movie.
Hmm. There we
I
go.
just can't even my like I don't even know because like I don't have a problem. Like I know there's a lot, especially in the newer ones, like Mortal Kombat ones. There's like the story and all of that, but I even like in the other, whether it's Street Fighter or Tekken or uh Mortal Kombat, like I just because I'm not a fighting game guy, like I could never get into that part of it, even through like, and I understand like what happens, the outlines of the Injustice storyline, just because it became so important to DC more largely. But like, I just even if someone was like, dude, you need to like play this game for the story, like I would just be like, I can't. I
No,
mean,
I mean it's very well put together and very cinematic, but like if you're not into like the property, then yeah, I wouldn't recommend it just out of nowhere. Like I love Mortal Kombat. I have a history with it, but that's why I'm excited for this. But if
I
you
was
know,
never a fighting game guy. This does nothing for me.
I will say too, I forgot to mention, um, this is launching with rollback netcode, which is big for fighting games recently. But it's also going to be a assist fighter, which means you have your main fighter and then you
tag
have a
team.
couple of extra fighters on the side that you can just like hit a button and they'll do like a special attack to help you out or something, which is new for Mortal Kombat. So I'm excited. All the details we've gotten about the gameplay for this with this trailer have got me very excited. And it's the first Mortal Kombat that I've really been ready to play at launch since probably 10. So I'm excited.
I don't know how big specifically for Mortal Kombat the scene is, but as a person who pays attention to esports more generally, it is truly impressive the heights that you can get to in these games.
Hmm.
But
Oh yeah,
man,
for sure.
I'd say Street Fighter and Tekken have the edge over Mortal Kombat in the
yeah,
professional scene, but like I don't know, Mortal Kombat's definitely more of a casual like
Well,
fighting game
it's a
fans first
household
pick.
name.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like
could
more
also never get the like button combos down. I'm not, my brain doesn't work well enough
Same.
for this stuff.
it's tricky. That's one of those things you just kind of have to wrestle with it.
This
It
is
kind
like, it's weird because I'm 25, but like it's the same thing like when I play
Old
COD
ass
games.
fuck.
Yeah, I know.
of
When I play COD games now, I'm like, damn, these fucking kids, man, like they're just playing this game on a different level than me. Like I
yeah,
remember when my reaction time was that quick. And I'm like, now
yeah.
I just
No, I completely get that. I it's
Is
this
that
is a
why I'm
game.
bad at Halo now? Is that why I'm
oh,
no
for
longer
sure.
good?
Absolutely,
What a
absolutely.
relief. I'm just glad to know I'm past my prime in my mid
You're just
20s.
old.
Part of it is you don't play it enough as like when you were a kid, and then the other part of it is like your when your reaction time just
That's
Yeah.
right. I hope if
Goes
somebody
off.
shoots me in real life, my reaction time is also just severely delayed.
you you fall down, you're bleeding out, you're like, fuck the lag!
The lag!
I'm
Guy
rubber
shoots me,
banding!
I just disappear through the wall.
What are you kidding me? I didn't even see him. How did you shoot me? God damn it.
I was totally behind that wall.
The fucking
Just jump on his head and
latency.
start teabagging.
That's how they catch him. He just starts teabagging. Oh
Okay.
my god.
But as far as I'm aware, that was Fingering the Pulse with Obscure Reference.